Welcome aboard. It's Johnny and the Greg. Thank you all for joining us. Please like and subscribe. And if you do that, we got a little offer for you. Take it away, Greg.
Well, we are brought to you by audible.com. So Audible has hundreds and thousands of audiobooks for you to download and enjoy every topic that you can imagine. They also have podcasts, educational material, just a ton of stuff. And you can get 1 free month of that on us if you go to audibletrial.com/JATG. And really just go to your heart's content, get whatever you want. If you want some urban fantasy, you can go that route. You want some mystery, you want some drama, you want some smutty stuff, they got that too. So really whatever you're going to get into, I mean, because Valentine's Day is coming up and maybe you need some ideas. You can get those. You can get those.
Yeah. From us. Yeah. There's a lot of self-help books.
Absolutely. Yep. Instructional even.
Instructional.
If you need that kind of thing, they got the For Dummies series all narrated for you. So if you go to audibletrial.com/JATG, that is 30 days for free on us. John.
Thank you. Speaking of instructional, did you ever come across when you were a lad at the Kama Sutra?
Oh, yeah.
Did you come across it at parents or did you cross it?
Oh, no.
Grandparents, uncles?
So the fun
reunions.
Fun story about that. So my best friend from high school, he now goes by Ben. So Ben, if you're listening, this is you. So the story was it was my birthday. It was my first birthday post high school. So I was 19. So I was turning 19.
Okay, that's when the first time you stumbled upon it.
It was the first copy I ever received.
Okay. I mean, somebody gave it to you.
Someone gave it to me. Yes.
Ooh,
so, and you knew my wife in college.
I did.
About the time I met her too. So
I still know her.
Yeah, you still do. And so my buddy Ben for my birthday, and I don't know if he knew like the new-ish girlfriend we started dating like at the beginning of the semester, and this is now April. So we've been together about 4 months. And he brings over my birthday present, which is a copy of the Kama Sutra. And I open it right up in front of her and I'm like, oh, that's it. And he's laughing his ass off. And I'm like, thanks, buddy. Yeah. That's awesome. And she handled it well. But then after he left, she's like, something you want to tell me? I'm like, he's just my buddy from high school. Just try to talk your way out of it. Oh yeah. I mean, just be like, sorry, that was my friend from high school.
Yeah. What you probably should have been like, thank God she didn't go, oh, I've done that.
Yeah. She wasn't like highlighting it or anything like that. It was nothing like that. Her reaction was what I think what you would expect if your girlfriend
19, you're still kind of shy in that moment of you think you know what you're doing, but you don't know what you're doing, and all that fun stuff down memory lane. So for on the agenda,
hold on. I mean, you grilled me on that. Did you get a?
Oh yeah, my mother was a free spirit, I guess you could say. So she used to have a bookshelf all by the TV, and
by the TV.
She had bookshelves all by our, I guess you could call it entertainment center back in the 80s.
Yeah. And just full of books of all topics, huh?
Yeah. She had from Jaws to Michael Myers to the Halloween book. Like, I guess,
like the novelization
of it. Yeah. To Wiccan novels to Kama Sutra. And I remember my favorite book out of all the entire thing was 101 Uses for a Dead Cat. I thought it was funny. It was a little comedic illustration of all these uses you could do for a dead cat. So yeah, that's how I was introduced to it. So yeah. You know what's funny, at the age that I found it didn't dawn.
Sure.
It didn't dawn on me, and then when it should have dawned on me, I never connected the dots.
Well, it actually is like an ancient text from India.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like a real thing. And the one that I got had like the original paintings or even stone carvings, like pictures of those.
Yeah.
And then and then just like, two white
Where were
people.
you, Jim
Yeah.
Lee?
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah, not even an artist rendering. It was
Right.
just photography.
Yeah.
Oh,
you had photography.
Oh yeah. It was.
Oh,
it was
I had drawings.
No,
I saw
this was
drawings.
pure 1990s photography. I mean, it was
Oh.
almost done by like the people that I want to say DK Books that do like the Star Wars Insider kind of stuff. It was in that style. I mean, I don't own it anymore. I don't even know what happened to it. I probably just threw it out. But it was here's the original text and here's like a modern version. I was like,
you know what's funny? I've never read one word in it.
Yeah.
Did you? Because you seem like a curious fella. Like you might have dived into it. Like
there was. I probably did read some of it, but it was like twister instructions. It was
okay, yeah, I can see that.
Place your ankle along her spine, and I'm like, what? No,
What if you can't bend that way? Well, those guys didn't they invent yoga?
Oh yeah, it was from the same culture that invented yoga, and you could tell.
they can bend. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good for you guys.
The probably the worst part is like shortly after that, my parents came home. And my dad's like, what's this? And then he starts flipping through it, with my girlfriend there. And I'm like, and dad's like, like, just, I'm like, don't even like, can we
honey, come here, look at this.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Right. Yeah.
So awkward. So we actually, before we jump in, we got some chat stuff going on here. Because I know, Johnny, you can't see the chat. I'm kind of the chair for that. So Cousin Clay is on. He asks how the Bears did today. He didn't see them on the TV.
The Bears didn't play today.
I think that's his point.
Well, we won. I should say, Clay, we didn't lose.
That is true. Yep, they didn't lose today.
We didn't lose today.
Brad, who I believe is someone he's like, Johnny, what's up, big guy? And that our marshals are evening fellas, so evening to Marshall.
Marshall. Cheers, sir.
And
cheers, sir. I hope the workout advice I gave you that's helping out.
Yeah. And we got some all love and respect, brother, from Brad. So
cool.
Morning.
Brad Zidlow.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I know Brad Zidlow very well. He's probably ripping on my hair if we know Brad.
You can't see it.
No, you can't see it today.
Can't see mine either. So
can't see it today.
Anyway, so you had a topic that you wanted to cover
on the agenda, so you guys can either stay on this topic with us, fast forward. We have 3 topics today. The first topic we're going to talk about is Johnny has a little rant about his Chicago Bears. So Clay, hang in there. You'll love this.
Yeah, I'll probably sit back on this one.
The second one we're going to talk about is actually, that's going to be a surprise because I want Greg to pull it up because I want Greg's actual first response. You're going to actually pull it up onto the podcast because I think we should talk about this. I think it's really interesting.
Okay.
And the third one is some multiversal Doctor Strange, just some little
rumors, some rumors happening.
Some rumors that worry me, actually, quite frankly.
Okay.
All right. So topic number 1. The Chicago Bears, my Chicago Bears, bear down Chicago Bears. All right. I was going to go into quite a
so we're going to go off. Yeah.
I was going to go off.
A Shakespearean aside, if you will.
Yeah. And I just realized something hit me, Greg, and it's something that you'll see where I'm going in a minute. Okay. I don't need to rip on them. I don't need to bang my head against the wall because I've come to a startling conclusion. There is realism and then there's hope. Okay. Here's the realism.
Okay.
It's like you've said for people that get pissed off about Marvel or Star Wars. It's not your Star Wars. It's not my team. It's not my team. No matter what happens, no matter what I say, no matter who I think is the best candidate for this or the best candidate for this, or can you just fire this guy or can you just not make a stupid fucking mistake? It's not my team. He's going to do what he's going to do. In fact, at his press conference, he pretty much just
hold on. Who was your he? Who was your he? We want to know.
McCaskey.
For those of us,
McCaskey.
Yep.
Yes.
Owner of the team.
When he basically said in whatever, however, just to sum it up, he basically said, I get to keep my job because mommy said I'm doing a good job. That's basically what he said.
Yeah.
If you want to read between the lines. Um,
So
that
is he the team president and
he
his
is
mom
the
is
acting chairman.
acting chairman and his
Yes.
mother, who's like
89, God bless her
yeah,
soul.
yeah,
Or
89.
I think 99. I think 99.
Is she 99?
I don't know.
She looks like a living mummy. I mean, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
but she's a, from what I understand, she's a great lady. She carries herself very well. What I mean by that is she's the sweetest lady you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Um,
But she's old.
yes, someone, and I don't know how many of you out there are actually watching the show Succession. From what I understand, I haven't watched it. My wife watches it.
Yeah, it's a great show.
From what I've understood, the McCaskies are the Roys, except
Really?
the main Roy, the dad,
Mm-hmm.
he's been dead for 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of grandsons and all this stuff. But anyway, I digress. What I'm trying to say is it's not my team. It's not my team. So there's only so much of control I have. And the only control I have is I choose to read, I choose to listen, I choose to watch. And so there's comes a certain point where I have to just say, hey, I hope they do well.
Yeah.
And then that's where I'm getting to now. Hope. They have, for this GM and head coaching search, they have spread out such a wide net that God, they have to hit somebody that's good. They're talking to great general managers. They're talking to great head coaches. Maybe all of it's a crapshoot. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they can make the right choice. I don't know what else to say about that. I know Marshall's a big Bear fan. I don't know how he feels about it. Every Bear fan I talk to, I've realized they don't dig into it as much as I dig into it.
Right.
So they're all coming to me. But I've actually said this a couple of times this week that, hey, it's not our team. It's called the Chicago Bears, but it's not our team. We have no say. There's nothing we can do.
She could pick up and leave Chicago. I mean, if the
anything
NFL
could
would let
happen.
her,
Anything can happen. So I guess this goes to the advice I tell people is that if like after a certain point of constant disappointment, after a certain point, it ends up turning on you. You're the one that is allowing this to happen. You're the one that's choosing to do this. You're the one that's, buying the hoodies and buying the hat and buying all this stuff and being there, scheduling your time for 3 hours to get disappointed or to cheer. So that's where I've come from. That's what after a week of thoughtful thinking, that's where I'm at. Now, that's not to say that when I find out who the general manager is or the head coach, and I'm not going to be back on this podcast bearing down saying we're going to turn it around and, so.
I mean, this is because you said you wanted to rant about this. This isn't really a rant.
No, it's not, because I felt like I ranted during our little Dungeons and Dragons thing we did. I took Marshall and you, and I put you guys in a corner, and I just went off.
Yep, you did. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just prep for the game over here then.
Yeah. Johnny goes off. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's from like the outsider piece.
Yeah, let me hear.
And this is
what you see from the outside.
This is very much an outsider piece because I'm a Packers fan. So it's almost like from the opposite side of the aisle.
Not really, because you are a very unique Packer fan. You don't really hate on the Bears.
No, I don't.
No. Yeah.
So, I mean, I watched the Bears quite a bit this season, and there's a lot of tools there. There's a lot of tools there that if they just get utilized correctly, I think. Yeah. Is it a formula for greatness? I don't know, but
no, I'll tell you that right now, it's not.
Okay, but better. I mean, definitely better than what I think the showing was this year. There were some.
You mean the team?
The team, yeah.
I think there's maybe a handful. I could probably name off 6 people I would keep. The rest I would get rid of and rebuild.
I think, given some rebuilding years, like 3 years with a good GM and a good coach, you're competitive.
That's the key.
That's
believe it or not, that's the key. Good
kind
GM,
of the
good head coach.
Good GM, good head coach that stick to a plan.
Yep.
And the ownership stays out of their way, and it becomes almost like a culture reset.
Yeah.
And you can do all that.
Which is definitely here's the one thing that Chicago has going for them. The McCaskies don't know shit about football, so they don't get involved.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. They will let you run the team right into the ground before they go, oh, maybe we should fire.
Well, until they go, oh, profits might drop.
Yeah.
And as soon as profits start to drop, then they can step in and be like,
and that's another thing. This isn't the McCaskies don't have their hands dipped in a bunch of other things.
No, this is it, right?
This is it. Grandpa built this, and they've carried on the tradition. They don't know anything else. So it does frustrate me when an owner admits he doesn't know football, but he's spent his entire lifetime. I think he's 79 years now.
Yeah.
He's spent his entire lifetime in the family business, but doesn't know football.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I mean, the quote that came out earlier this week where he's like, I'm not a football expert. And I'm like, motherfucker, why not? I mean,
or if you're not, why are you making a choice?
Well, then I'm like, yeah, then you need to get out of the way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, I mean, because he's not a spring chicken. I mean, that dude's old.
Yep.
And you're looking at him going, you didn't get a football education at any point when Grandpa Hallis is bouncing you on his knee. You're not looking at that saying, well, maybe I should soak some of this in, or as a teenager or as a man in your 20s, like
thinking to yourself,
going to college thinking I should probably figure out what all these positions do and like good business decisions and actually get some football knowledge.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Look, honest to God, even if you've decided to reject your family's heritage for, I don't know, until you got out of college and realized that shit, I guess I might as well work for my family. From then on, you can learn. I taught my father-in-law how to watch football. Unfortunately, I must have done something really bad because he became a Packer fan.
Is he really?
Not a lie. He's a diehard Packer fan now. He calls them his brothers. He goes, my brothers. You know, he drinks his Cavassier while they're scoring touchdowns on us.
Wow.
Just letting me know. And yeah.
I
taught him and he learned it in 3 years.
Yeah.
So
well, your wife. I mean, your wife.
Yes, my wife. My wife almost gave a guy an actual orgasm at a bar once because she said her favorite formation was the Wildcat. And he just about right there. He was like, what? You know about that? That's when the Wildcat was famous back, and that it was a famous formation back at that time.
Well, and I remember when you started dating her and she's like, I got to pick a team to like, and she based it off of their uniforms and their mascot. But then she knew everything about them. She like dove in and knew who was playing what. I mean, she got into it, and I'm like, wow.
God bless her too, because she's okay. Out of the two of us, she's the adult. Okay. I'm the one that pretends to be an adult, or I flirt on that I'm on that fence between being a kid and being an adult. I'm on the fence right now. And when it comes time to being an adult, I will open up that fence and I will walk into the adult area. But as soon as my adulting
is done, I want to go back.
I am back over at kids playing with Thor hammers and Eye of Agamotto. Oh my God.
Agamotto.
Yes. I'm back over there. And she will patiently sit down, let me bitch about whatever I'm upset about in the sports world. Then she'll just go back to it. But she remembers it because she goes, oh, yeah, I remember that Ben Roethlisberger guy. You didn't like him for a while, right? I'm like, yeah, he was trying to rape a girl. I wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, bad.
No.
Bad. Ben.
Anywho. So yeah, it wasn't much. It's not much of a rant, guys. It's just coming to a realization I'm coming up on 46 now, and I'm realizing there's nothing I can do about it. So I might as well just.
Yep.
If I'm going to wear this hat, then I'm just going to show up. I'm going to cheer. If they win, awesome. If they lose, I can't get that disappointed.
Yeah, and I really hit that. I hit that with all my sports teams. Like,
well, you're mature, Greg.
Well, but no, I hit that at like 13. Like when I wasn't.
You're mature, Greg.
No, I mean, not at 13. I certainly wasn't. but I had this realization of watching my dad and even my grandma just screaming at the TV and swearing and being upset, and dad's running his fingers through his hair what made it stand up on end and all weird angles, and I'm like, they can't hear you. Like, there's nothing. I mean, the Don Mikowski years where you're just banging your head on the table, just
I shit you
just.
not. I love Wild Card Weekend. I love the playoffs.
Oh
I
yeah,
love NFL playoffs. So my mother's team's in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Dallas today. And I kid you not, Greg, I put on a 49er hat and they all of a sudden like threw an interception. I took it off and they did better. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm one of those people that actually believes that I am actually influencing anybody else out there that actually believes that if they move or they do this or they do that, or if somebody walks into the room, they have to stay in that room now because good luck happened. I want to hear from you people out there. Are you that with whatever sports team or whatever? Are you superstitious with your sports teams like I am? I didn't think I was, but I definitely am.
I had a season 2-3 years ago where every Packer game I watched, they lost, and everyone I didn't watch, they won. So I'm like, well, I'm not watching the Packers this year anymore.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and Clay says no, he's not that crazy.
Would you do that all the way to the Super Bowl? Like, would you not watch the Super Bowl if you?
No, because I don't believe it that much. Like, I know
you obviously did. You were talking about that. You just said
I did. I jokingly said it, but
right.
I think the fact of the matter is that I had little kids and there was just too much shit going on that I couldn't get to watch the games.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in that kind of.
No,
but I know people that do. I know people that do.
But in my head, I know there's nothing I can control. Right. I'm not there. I'm not in the arena. I'm not on the field. I'm not making the calls. How can taking off my hat all of a sudden magically?
And really, there are enough people wearing their, special socks and jerseys and, face makeup and whatever that would totally undo all that juju anyway. So
yeah,
your hat's not that powerful.
If it is,
this one hat that I wear twice a year.
Yeah, exactly.
But keeping track of the games, I did not get to watch them, but Cowboys fans, I feel for you because
that was ridiculous. I don't know if you saw it.
I had to go
40 seconds left, Greg.
When the internet blew up, I was like, oh, I gotta go back and see what's going on here. So I went back on my phone and
did you see it?
Oh yeah. And Twitter's going like, well, everybody knows the pain of the McCarthy play calling. And I'm like,
he actually admitted that was a play. And what we're talking about, people, for those of you that didn't watch it, don't know what's going on, or are listening to us on Thursday. They had 40 seconds left. They were down 23-17. And I think they were somewhere around the 40-yard line, maybe. I'm sorry, not the 40-yard line in San Francisco territory.
Mm-hmm.
They run with, I think, 20 seconds left, a quarterback draw on second and long, basically second and long. I can't remember the exact details. But what I'm saying is he runs a quarterback draw. By the time they get up and try and spike the ball, it's over.
Yeah, game's over.
Time's done. So McCarthy admitted that was the play call. So he's going to get murdered for that.
Yeah, he will.
He may even get fired for that bullshit.
He had some redeeming moments as the season, because I remember watching a couple of Cowboys games or following him. I'm like, oh yeah, McCarthy's their coach.
Yeah.
And some good coaching decisions. And you're like, all right, that's good. Maybe, to me, it was proving that his success wasn't just Aaron Rodgers, that he actually does know what he's talking about. And then,
maybe that's what kept you guys from winning more than one Super Bowl with him.
Maybe. And
it was his
and then today,
plays.
And everybody around us would say it was a play call. Like he's a terrible play caller. You should never do it. And that was part of the rift between him and Rodgers, is because Rodgers is like, no, that's a dumb play. I don't want to run that. And would change it at the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And then those two would be at each other's throats. So kind of the whole I'm the coach, you're the player kind of thing. But then shit like this happens today, and you're like, okay, Mike, maybe it is you. Like maybe
it was you.
But I even saw their special teams. They did a fake punt. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. And
they did a fake punt, and it worked.
Yes.
And you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen a fake punt this season
really?
at all.
What's funny about that is their special teams this year, according to the broadcast, they've pulled that off like 4 times this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not witnessed it. Because I don't watch them.
We're not Cowboy fans. So
and then their special teams are just like hanging out on the field.
Yeah, I didn't understand any of that.
The camera cuts to the special teams, the McCarthy coach, and McCarthy's using his clipboard to like wave them in, and they get out there and delay a game, and they lose 5 yards. And you're
5
like,
yards, yeah.
Oh my God.
You're like, what's going on? Yeah, I agree. I do think your Niners are going to be taking. I'm sorry, my Niners are going to be taking on your Green Bay Packers. So maybe we'll.
Oh, that's set. That is set.
Oh, that's happening?
That is happening. Last time I checked, just before the show started, they weren't sure if it was going to be Saturday or Sunday yet. But
my prediction still stands. I think it's going to be Kansas City and Green Bay in the Super Bowl. I don't think. Look, for all of you guys out there, and believe me, you should be. Brady's still alive.
Yep.
Brady looked like he was on fire today, and then his offensive lineman started getting hurt. But
yeah, like the center went down, and
he was on fire. I am a Brady diehard. I know when this guy's on fire. That game should have been 55-0. He was ready to go. And I know you guys are scared, especially in Green Bay. And if you don't admit you're scared, you're stupid. There's nothing wrong with being scared about this guy coming to your place and upsetting you. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think they're going to lose the next game.
Just the fact that they were in the wild card game, I think.
They were in the wild card last year. It didn't matter.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they were in the wild card.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. But to me, it's a little bit like having
a playing then.
What's that?
They're going to play the Rams or the Cardinals then, right?
Right. Yeah, I didn't see who they were going to play.
Okay.
What I'm going to relate the Bucks to with Brady is when you buy a car.
Yeah.
And your intention is to just drive that car until it dies. Like that's what you're going to do. And you take it to the mechanic, you get the checkups, you do all the stuff. The mechanic is like, your engine looks great. You know, the core of that car is running great.
Mm-hmm.
But then things start to happen around the car, and you get rust spots or the transmission blows. I mean, all these other elements other than the engine, which is the heart of the car, is running great, but everything else is starting to fall apart.
Right.
And I think
that's going along.
That's what's happening to the Bucs.
So I think your Packers, and look, I'm going to say it. If you don't face Brady, you're fucking lucky. You're lucky. That's what I'll say. I actually think the Rams are going to beat the Cardinals, and it's going to be the Rams and the Buccaneers. I think the Rams are going to win, and the Rams are going to go to Green Bay. That's what I think is going to happen. FYI. Anyway, that's the Bear rant. That's the football rant. Here's something, and I'm transitioning. I want you to do me a favor. Jump on one of your things. You're going to share the screen in a second.
Okay.
I want you to type up bradybrand.com.
Okay.
Our friend, or I should say my friend, Tom Brady, decided to launch a clothing company this week in the realm of Lululemon. You know what Lululemon is?
I do.
You do?
It's like leggings and stuff.
No, it's workout gear.
Oh, okay. Workout gear.
Comfort, sure. Or athleisure, I think is the term my wife told me. It's athleisure, which means you can do something athletic or you can just hang out on the couch. It's up to you.
Okay, so like your yoga pants have never been to yoga camp.
Yeah, yes, okay. Yes. Okay. So he did this.
All right, I got it up.
Pull it up. Hit the share screen. I want everybody to look at this stuff. Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, we got it up, right?
What a good looking man. Go down to his actual, go down to the actual, like go back up.
Shop now.
Yeah, shop now. All right. Everybody look at this real closely, okay? I want you to look at something specific. Go down. Keep going down.
Oh, what am I?
Keep going down.
I feel like we're being set up for something.
We're not set up at all. Keep going down. Keep going down right there. That hat, that gray hat. How much is that hat, Greg?
Holy shit, that's $50 for a hat.
$50 for that hat that you can buy for $12.99 at like Target. Let's look over here.
And well, hold on. I want to see.
Oh, yeah,
Is his logo on this at all?
Nope.
It's just your straight up
hat. Hang on. We borrow our signature Technic fabric from our best-selling sweaters and created an ultimate cold weather hat. So basically, you're wearing the remains of a sweater on your head for $60. It doesn't have a logo. It doesn't have anything.
Ooh.
$60. Now let's just look at these prices here. There's a 3D net seamless bomber for $295. You see that over there, Greg?
Yeah, but I'm just looking at this long sleeve polo for $140.
Yes. Look at these prices, people. This is ridiculous. I'm a Brady fan. This is ridiculous.
Well, I don't think these are meant for average folk. This is people that make Brady type money, or not even Brady type money. But if you're like,
$95, what's that coat? That coat
is $350.
$350 for a raincoat, folks. How much is that? Okay.
Well, and
that's
just
a $90. I'm looking at the just the regular Brady
crew net sweatshirt, cotton fleece is sweatshirt. There's Brady on it, like some kid in school who has to know what his name is.
It's not even a cool Brady.
No,
it's just Brady. Like,
this is ridiculous.
Look at these prices.
I was in Marshall's last night. Marshall's and Home Goods, and this is stuff that you see on their racks that someone just screen printed Brady on it or embroidered.
I will tell you one thing. I shop at Marshall's too. I think there's Marshall's and TJ Maxx at our place and around where I live.
Yep.
I will definitely buy one of these things when they're on that rack. I will do it. That's the only time I will ever buy that.
I mean, this just looks screen printed.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's like a vinyl transfer, meaning you can wash that thing.
Look at that. What does that say? Pay in full or in 4 interest-free installments of $22.50. So you have to like pay a bill to have a Brady sweatshirt.
And do they come in Wisconsin man sizes?
Probably not. No, man. You gotta do pliability, eat right.
It doesn't. Okay, yeah, up to double XL. So sorry, big fellas, no triple for you.
You don't get to do that. So here's where I'm going to play devil's advocate. When you and I were a kid, okay, there was a certain bald gentleman that was scoring points at a crazy rate in basketball.
Yes, there was.
That ended up selling a shoe for $95. And I remember my mother looking me dead in the eye and saying, there is no way I'm ever going to pay $100 for a pair of shoes. Guess what happened for Christmas, Greg?
You can get a pair of shoes.
I didn't get them actually, but I ended up getting them in college. But my point is, a lot of people did. A lot of people got Michael Jordan stuff at the time when people thought that's way too expensive to get that.
Correct. Yep.
Why would you spend $35 on a pair of shorts?
Right.
Now that's almost commonplace. So my question to you is, Greg, are you and I looking at this as 40-year-old people as well as parents, budget conscious, looking at that and thinking to ourselves, there's no way a hat is worth $60. I got this at Marshall's for $20 or $12.99.
Okay. You said you were going to spring this on me and you did. So, initial reaction is that this is some bullshit. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is so marked up.
I agree.
It's not meant, even if I was a Brady fan, and it's not like I'm
like me.
Yeah. Like, I'm not that big of a Brady fan that I'm going to buy his stuff. But even if I was, I'm not in a bracket that would allow me to do that, to spend $60 on a stocking cap when you can get a Carhartt, which is warm. Yep. You can get a Carhartt hat for less than $60.
Right.
So Um, mine. You brought up the Michael Jordan stuff, and I see the analogy, and I can draw that parallel. But I was the kid in middle school that watched his older brother go nuts over the Jordans. He wanted the
Okay.
shoes.
So your brother was a big fan of Jordan shoes,
Oh
the
yeah, yep.
brand. Okay.
As I mean, and it was the year that they came out, and everybody wanted them. And
Yep.
I remember my mom, um, telling him, she's like, well, if you want a pair, you need to pay at least half. Like that was because mom's
Yeah, of course.
bracket was like $50 for a pair of basketball shoes,
Yeah.
and it was going to be, these are your basketball shoes that year, and then just kind of how it went, your basketball shoes then became your regular shoes after basketball season.
Yep.
Um, and she said, you need to pay at least half. And he did it. And I looked at the both of them, and I didn't say it at the time, but internally I'm like, you're fucking nuts. This is ridiculous. Like there's no reason a pair of shoes should be $100. And you know what? To this day, I don't think I've spent $100 on a pair of shoes.
No
Ever.
way. You have New Balance. New Balance is expensive.
But I don't buy, like, I don't go to the shoe store and buy the New Balance. I go to Kohl's and get, New Balances that, I mean, I'm not doing the dad, like the stark white.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm getting them at Kohl's marked down.
Yeah.
Like if I have to pay like $70 for a pair of tennis shoes, I'm like, shit.
What did you do when you looked up Dick's Sporting Goods and saw those UGG boots you like so much of me?
I don't have them yet. I don't have them.
But did you look at them and go, no?
I looked at them and went, because those were about 200. And we shot like
really?
we were, yeah. At Dick's they were. I mean, we've been shopping around for them, stuff like that. But I'm now just comparison shopping. I'm like, what can I get that's close to that?
Close to it, yeah.
And everything has been, like 130, 140,
right,
something like that. And I think those have even come down now in price, that they're probably 130, 140. But
yeah, that's 3 years ago or something like that.
Because there's a big part of me that's like, because they're made for winter. Like I'm not going to wear them even in mid to late spring. And I'm going, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. So I stick with my pair of Vans that I got at Kohl's for $35. And I've got a pair of Adidas that I got 2 years ago for $75, and they work well enough for street shoes.
Yeah.
And the dad way to go is like, if you're getting like a decent pair of tennis shoes, you wear them, and then all of a sudden when it comes time for you to get a new pair, which I am coming up to the point where I need a new pair before we go to Florida.
Yeah.
That those shoes are now going to become the lawn shoes, and the lawn shoes will be thrown out. Like,
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. Right now,
the grass cutting shoes.
Yes. Yes. And it's something that's weird that happens in your 40s. I would say it happens in your 40s.
You think so?
Yeah. That you start realizing that it's really not worth that amount of money.
Mm-mm.
And even if you can afford it, even if it won't hurt your budget, right?
Yep.
You start looking at that and going, no, I can get that hat at Target.
Yeah.
In the women's section for like $6.99.
So, I mean, I'm 43. So it was probably about 10 to 15 years ago, in that range, when I was really kind of trying to chase after money. Like that was the thing. Like I got to
chase to wear stuff, or chase to save stuff.
Chase after money to be better off.
Okay.
To be able to, in my 40s, afford whatever, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started looking at just over like the behaviors of millionaires. Like, I didn't even want to be a millionaire. I mean, I wanted to, but I would have been happy with like I would have been happy with like 100,000 air. That would have been okay. Yeah. But then you start reading the behaviors of some of these guys, and these guys I started reading about like the hidden millionaires in America, of which there are many. There are many guys that are making maybe not multi-millions a year, but they're comfortable. They're in the 1.2 million
financially. They're comfortable.
Yeah. Like they're good. They're good. I'm not saying they don't have money problems, but these are the guys that have a pretty nice house. They drive newer cars. They've got a boat or a cabin with a boat. I mean, kind of, and you're like, man, it's a pretty good life. How'd I do get that? So looking at those kind of behaviors of those guys, and I was shocked when I found out like the cars that most millionaires drive, like the self-made millionaires, are totally average cars that they drive into the ground because like they don't do this kind of stuff.
Right.
Excuse me. They're shopping at Marshalls, they're shopping at Kohl's, they're shopping off the rack because they know the value of, you know, what they buy at Kohl's for markdown, whatever, you know, styles that have gone through years ago. It's not high fashion or anything.
Yeah.
Is what made them living like that is part of what gave them the lifestyle they have. That's what gave them the cabin in the woods, or the nice boat, or the one nice car that they have.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Because they're like, you know, when you realize that the quality of some of this stuff doesn't last, you know, you
well, not only that, like this Bears hat, right? Again, if I were to walk in there and buy this brand new, it would probably cost $32.
Sure.
But I knew all you gotta do is hang out maybe for 2 or 3 years. This will show up in TJ Maxx.
Yep.
Right. So there's a little bit of patience, and then you realize, oh, there it is, $12.99.
Yeah.
Sold. You know, and the next thing you know, it keeps your head as warm as it would have 3 years ago, but you paid, you know, less than half for it. So there is that there. I think people, and I'm speaking more about me. I started realizing that when I was 40. Now, I wasn't like you. I didn't have to start budgeting until I was 40, really, to be honest, because I have a child to care for now, whereas you had a child a lot sooner than I did. So you had to budget. You had to figure out what's going to get me by. And since you've gotten past all those, that I think that time in your life where it's easier for you to impulse buy, you couldn't. And now that you're at that point where when you can impulse buy, it's a lot easier for you to walk past it than it would be back then. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, and that's,
I think they call that maturity, Greg.
Probably.
Yeah. Very mature show today, guys.
And you know, if wherever you're at, listeners, wherever you're at financially, that's where you're at. I mean, it's really, I mean, just don't be an idiot with some of this stuff. I mean, don't spend more than you have. I mean, that having that kind of, there's a great SNL sketch with Steve Martin, and it came around the time of the budget or the financial crisis that hit about 10 years ago. Yeah. And it's like, C. Martin's like, where would we get money for this? And this guy, it comes in like an infomercial. It's like, hey, you can do my study course, how to spend money that you don't have, or don't spend money that you don't have. He's like, chapter 1, don't buy it. He's like, what if there's something I really want? Can I buy it? No. He's like, okay. Well, follow me through. What if I don't have money, but I see something on a really good deal? Can I buy it then? No. He just, what seems like common sense.
Yes.
But you see people do it all the time, and they, you know.
Well, I actually have people in my family that you can tell they're keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like if you could take them, sit them down and say, do you really need that? They would, and like in a bubble where they're safe, and they could admit to you, no, I don't need this shit. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I think I would get that from this person.
Yeah,
for sure. You know, but I don't think I don't think they're ever going to go that route.
Now, at the same time, there's nothing, if it's a quality product, if you're saying, I'm going to spend more on this thing now because it's going to last me forever and I'm going to get a lot of use out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Again, that's a mature choice.
You do get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
You do get that. Yep. Yes. In some things. Well, I don't think a beanie from bradybrand.com is going to keep your head warmer and last longer than whatever you're going to find at your local Target or your local Walmart.
Yeah. It's funny when you bring up the shoe topic. I was talking with my mom about this not too long ago, and she was saying how, like, when the Jordan thing came out, kind of her worry is that they were going to be cheap, but she's like, they actually were pretty well made.
Yeah.
as far as basketball shoes go, so that they could last you a while.
Yeah.
She's like, but she remembers like we'd get a new pair of shoes at the beginning of the year,
Me
like the
too.
beginning of the school year.
Yep.
And we needed new shoes by the time basketball season would roll around because they would just fall apart.
Yes.
You know, and this is going in the, you know,
Well, back at that time, you went out and played. Like,
well, sure.
we were out in
I
the
mean,
fields. We were
I
out in the mud.
remember,
We were out
I
climbing
remember wearing my
trees.
LA gears
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And yeah, those things
Remember a
would fall
Vita?
apart. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They would fall apart. And then you'd be like, well, I guess I need new shoes. And mom's like, what? Because mom was an accountant. She did the numbers game on it. And she's like, I'll just start buying you brand name shoes. They're going to last you longer.
Yeah.
Because buying you the cheap shoes 3-4 times a year is costing me the same amount.
Right.
So that's what we ended up doing.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody out there, you know, I'm sure you can find a coming soon eventually here, Johnny and the Greg winter hat that's a lot better than the Brady brand. We won't charge you 60 for it either. So
I am working on that.
Yeah.
I am working on that. But
yeah.
that hat, I love that hat. That
yeah,
hat
me too. It's
warm.
warm. It is my go out there and shovel hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a good warm hat. It's almost as good as my Carhartt hat. I dare say.
It's a really warm hat.
Our
it's
people.
The only reason I do not wear this hat is actually a lot less hot than this hat.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
Like you wear
really
that
hot hat.
You wear that around the house. You're gonna be sweating it.
Yeah, for sure.
It is for sure an outside hat, and I put all that finding the best quality stuff on our product manager, who she searches lots of different places that can do specialized printing and stuff like that. And she found a great product. So
yeah. So before we transition to our next topic and our final topic, let me ask you a question. Would you say Clay's put in enough time to be a marshal?
Oh, Clay is totally worth it.
Okay.
And Clay is my cousin. That's why I call him Cousin Clay.
Right. Yeah.
He's
like, I feel Clay's always commenting. He's always listening.
Yeah, he's there with us.
Yeah. So Clay, I think a ceremony's needed right now in this second.
We dub
the cousin Clay an official marshal. Now, if you don't know what a marshal means, okay, it goes out. It's named after our number one fan. It goes out to everybody that is a super fan that shows up every time that we're on, that listens, that comments, that likes, that subscribes, all of that fun stuff. So congratulations, Clay. You are officially a marshal of the Johnny and Greg podcast.
He's very happy.
Golf clap.
Golf clap. Yeah, he will.
Can you hear that, Marshall? I mean, Marshall Clay. Marshall Clay. All right. Getting on to our last topic because we're getting down to that 10 o'clock.
Yeah. What do we got?
Time. Okay. So you sent me something that I've been reading a lot on Instagram with the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is a ton of rumors out there.
Yep.
And I'm worried a little bit. Most of it, I sit there and say to myself, it's just rumors. But the other part of me says, okay, how many cameos are too much before a movie just becomes about cameos?
Cameos of other people. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing so many cameos, and I'm not going to bring up any of the cameos because I don't want any of them to, I don't want to have hit one and it's actually true.
Right.
But basically what I'm saying is I'm hearing way too many cameos on this Multiverse of Madness, and it has me a little bit worried because I want a good story. I don't want cameos.
Right.
If the cameo fits into the story or it's something small and neat, cool. Yeah. But don't overload me with just he was here because we wanted to get this guy in here.
Right.
Or we wanted to get this dude from here. Remember the rumor that this guy was going to play this guy? Well, now he's going to be in the movie here.
Yeah.
As a variant. I don't want that. Like, don't do that just to do that. I guess what I'm saying. So I'm very worried about the Multiverse of Madness. That it's just going to be this show of cameos.
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, we are getting, I mean, you type in multiverse of madness into any search engine and you're going to get a lot of, oh, this person's going to be in it. So-and-so says this person's going to be in it. So-and-so says this person is going to be in it. And it's really going to be this character played by this. I mean,
right.
And with a multiverse, they can do a ton of fan service.
Yes,
like,
they can.
They can bring in any actor, because I think you could reach out to most actors and say, would you like to do a cameo in a Marvel film? A lot of actors are going to say,
right.
Yeah, sure. No problem. I can do that. So the thing of it is, I mean, because it is the multiverse, it could just be a cameo.
Yes.
It could just
like
be
a Matt Damon and Thor.
Yeah. Yep. It
Thor,
could really
Ragnarok.
In Ragnarok, where Matt Damon shows up. You could have Ben Affleck show up as Loki. I mean, you could do something like that. I mean, you could have, or even the fan casting, which has been happening in Marvel films for years. I mean, and there are a lot of those floating around right now. Now, here's a couple pieces to those. Because I don't want to say them, like you said, It's just going to add fuel to that fire. Kevin Feige hasn't failed us yet, in my opinion.
Okay.
So, I mean, we heard a lot of rumors about No Way Home. We heard a lot of rumors. Some of them came true. Some of them did not.
Right.
And so you go, I think this has almost become part of the Marvel marketing machine.
Yeah, you're right.
They are going to put out, what if this person's there? What if this person's there?
Right.
You might see this person there.
Right.
And so their people, I think, are leaking little cameo rumors to help drive the advertisement for the film, because it's free advertising.
Right.
Anytime Comic Vine or any of the movie sites or Variety or whoever is going to post a little quip of, well, rumor has it that they're going to have an alternative Tony Stark played by this Hollywood superstar. I mean, anytime you do that, that is nothing but free advertising. And it's you're going to bring in fans of that person who go, I don't like Marvel films, but hey, if he's thinking about it, I might check that out.
Yeah.
And in today's movie environment, where they're still pushing movies back because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's not a wise move. I'm just saying that it's still happening. They need to drive as much buzz as possible. So I thought it was more interesting. Ben Affleck did an interview this week.
Yeah.
And in that interview, he said he really believes that in the next 5 years, the only movies that are going to be theatrical releases are going to be the big budget special effects blockbusters.
Right. So your big what they call in the business your tent pole movies, right?
Yeah.
Your big top movies. Yeah.
So I mean, and I'm not talking just Marvel films, but like Top Gun,
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious, the Top Gun movie that's constantly being delayed.
John Wick. Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't get those one the one it popped in my head, the one with Steve Carell where they're traveling across the country so that their little girl can do a pageant.
Oh, Little Miss Sunshine. Yeah.
Yes. That won't be in a theater anymore. That'll be just directly streamed. Yes.
Yep. Your romantic comedies, your mysteries, your even quite tend to believe your horror films. Like your independent films just aren't going to make it anymore.
Right. I tend to believe that. Now, do you think that's a product of streaming, or do you think it's a product of COVID, or is it a whole nice little mixture that created this?
I think it is a product. We had the technology in streaming, and then with the pandemic is what forced the hand of a lot of studios to say, this is how we're going to do business now. Now, I'm interested to see how revenue goes. I'm still not clear on the revenue models of a streaming service.
Okay.
I know Netflix is getting ready to raise their prices again.
Yes, they are.
So you're about to pay $20 for just the plan, the basic plan.
It's gonna go back to DirecTV all over again.
It is. I mean, really, I mean,
when you add
$20
them all
for
up.
it's going to be the most expensive streaming service there is at $20 for a subscription.
You better
And
give us some good stuff.
well, and that's like, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot on Netflix that I don't watch.
Right.
I
Me
mean,
too.
it's becoming almost like the new cable package. Which
Well, what's the only thing I'm thinking for Netflix right now is Ozark. Other than that, I don't know what else is coming down the pipe. I don't like, I'm not, you don't have, like,
I don't
before
know.
Netflix had me because they had the 4 Marvel projects. And I was like, oh, I
Right.
want to see what they're going to do with that. And then
And those went
they
away.
had Ozark and then Stranger Things. Other than that,
Mhm. I don't know.
I can
I mean,
miss a movie there.
Netflix is becoming a film studio,
Mhm.
but the Hitman's bodyguard wife, the Ryan Reynolds, Sam Jackson, Selma Hayek film,
Yeah.
has not made it onto Netflix yet and released this week on HBO Max.
You're right.
So I'm going, well, what the hell am I keeping
Netflix for.
Netflix for?
Yeah.
And right now I'm keeping it for my family because I got a daughter that absolutely loves Bridgerton and
Okay.
some stuff that my wife watches. But I gotta wonder, like,
Yeah, it's getting close.
if there's something I'm gonna drop, Netflix
Yeah.
might be it.
Yeah.
And that,
I
I
think you're
mean,
right.
because with some of them, like Apple TV is like $6 a month, and that
Yeah.
is fantastic. They put out a ton of great content.
Okay.
And you look at the $20 you're paying for Netflix, and you're going to start to go, well, let's see, I could get Apple TV, I could get Peacock, I could get AMC Plus.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
mean, you're
Yeah.
going to start to kind of have that.
If I'm going to pay
kinda
$20,
thing.
I'd rather have 3 or 4 streaming services versus one. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, Clay just posted that Cowboy Bebop was canceled before people could make a full opinion. That particular case in Cowboy Bebop, I think the fandom killed it before it ever got going. I mean, and that's, Netflix is trying to take chances and bring different projects
Where are they
the
doing
world.
are they doing the Airbender?
Is it them? I think yes.
I don't know.
I think
It
they
is
are.
them.
You know what? I think they are doing
Okay.
the Avatar: The Last
Are they also
Airbender
doing Lord of the Rings?
live action series. No, that's
Prime?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon. Okay.
So, but they're taking chances with those kind of projects, which I would really want to see. But the toxic fandom is almost shutting them down before they even premiere. I've watched half an episode of the Cowboy Bebop live action series.
Did you like it or no?
You know what? It was yesterday that I got up a little early and I turned it on as I was having my breakfast. And from what I saw, it's super stylized. And I'm like, okay, I could get into this. But I got to do a bunch of shit because it's Saturday and I had to shut it off and go do a bunch of stuff. And I haven't gone back to it. So
Okay.
my daughter watched it. She said she liked it.
Yeah.
And she's a fan of the animated series. A good friend of mine who lives out in New York, Buzz, he was one of those that's like, this is a bullshit series, like before he ever saw one episode. And when he saw the episode, he's like, it was confirmation bias for him. It was like,
Okay.
Yep, totally, it sucks. And I was like, well, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, they got a lot of series hanging out there that I'd like to see where the follow-up is. Shadow and Bone was great. Are they getting, or no, that'd be FX. Because Justified is coming back.
I love Raylan
Givens. Yeah, Raylan Givens, played by Timothy Olyphant, is coming back.
Fuck yeah. I love that guy.
So, and that's what I mean. Like people that don't have, like if they put that.
But is that coming to Netflix?
I probably FX because that was an FX original series.
Okay, so it's going to be on Hulu. So then we're good.
But yeah, I was going to say, that's going to be the thing. Like the people that don't have Hulu or the people that don't have the FX streaming service are going to go, well, you know what? I'm going to drop Netflix because there's not a lot on there.
Yeah.
It's super high price and I can get 4 other streaming services for the price of one.
Yeah, I agree. I think out of all the things right now, I think I would drop Netflix. And if that meant that I could pick up Apple or what's the other one? Peacock.
Yeah. Peacock's,
if you can drop
got a lot of good stuff too.
You drop one streaming service for the price of 2.
Yeah.
Why not?
And that's just it. I think Netflix is being a little unwise, and because I almost feel like they're trying to figure out where's the line, like where's the cutoff.
Yeah,
that people eventually go, nope, I'm not going to pay it anymore. I'm done.
Right. Yeah.
And when they get enough of that flux, you're going to see magical price drops to Netflix.
I agree. Yeah. So let us know what you guys think out there in Facebook world out there. What do you guys think? Do you think Netflix is going too high? Do you think the multiverse of madness might be doing too much cameos, or do you guys have faith in Feige and Raimi and Netflix? Let us know. Greg, we're good, my friend. Why don't you sign us out?
Well, per the usual, as you're going through your week, rule number 1 to live by is check your sources. It's not often that we go for the hard facts without saying, let me check on that. I'm not totally sure, but, check your sources, know where you're coming from, know who is reporting that source. I mean, are they biased? Are they controlled by a political party? Are they controlled by a giant corporation? Know where that fact is coming from before you speak it. And when you're speaking it, know who your audience is. You can't just come hard and out of the gate to some people. You have to build up a relationship if you're actually trying to change an opinion, because no one has ever changed their political affiliation or their philosophical reasonings just because someone read a Facebook post. Doesn't happen. So 3, while you're doing those things and you want to put that message out there and you really want to speak some truth, don't be a douche. I mean, you got to be able to say things in love and be able to build up a trust bank with people so that they will actually take the message in. And if you're douchey, no one wants to listen to you.
There you go. So for the Greg, this is Johnny saying take care. Thank you for watching. And for all you Green Bay Packer fans out there, Brady's coming.
Yep.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Stay healthy, everybody.